Yo, yo,
Hey,
yo.
hey.
What's up, Kwanza Global family?
What's
We're
up?
back again with another episode, episode 11,
About
talking about
change.
changes today. Changes.
I am so excited because, change, okay, things be changed in so many ways that we could have predicted, that we could have not predicted, right? Like, you may be, like, for me, for example, I'm a routine person. Like, if I feel like I don't do my routine for some reason, I feel like things are not going well. Like I feel like I'm missing something and I feel like I am not doing things the right way because I'm so used to my routine. It's kind of boring, but it's for some people it works for them, like for me. But I feel like I also need to be getting used to change. So I feel like talking about it, helps me thinking of, oh, even if you have predicted certain things to happen a certain way, like, oh, after college, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna get married here and this and that, and things change during that process. It's also okay to not have it at this in this order, but as long as you're getting to that goal on what you want to get, like maybe the final plan would be, getting a bigger house or having a family, or as long as you're going towards that goal, I feel like what happens in the process shouldn't be a struggle, shouldn't be something that's going to stop you or make you feel like
Yeah.
because things didn't go in that order you planned, you predicted, it may not,
The thing not working.
things are not gonna go the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we should really treasure those moments when change just happens.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's okay to change
Right.
your mind, or if things happens to change, it's also okay. Even though change is, trust me, it is a big adjustment for some people. It even makes you like freak out. Trust me, he can tell you. I am the first of all, I'm a dramatic person. So when I feel like, whoa, this is not how I usually do, I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, like I feel like my whole world's about to fall apart. I feel like I'm not doing things right, and it really messes me up. But then I realize at the end of the day, I'm gonna get what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna get it done. So that kind of comfort me. That kind of console me,
Yeah.
and I feel like, oh, it's okay. It's just that small things that happen, but I still have to be able to get used to change and
Yeah.
to know that it's okay
Yeah.
if change happens
Yeah. Things don't go
during that
exactly.
process, if things don't go the way I plan, you know.
Yeah. For me, since I I'll do things. There are things that I do for the most part, every single day, and then there are things that if, let's say, I do it most of the time, but I don't. There's something that doesn't fall into the my usual routine. For me, you know, for most things that I do, I don't. It's something that I'm easily able to adapt to or, you know, deal with. So the but the main thing about it is on either side, whether you're just someone who's really, about a certain routine each and every time, or someone who's not always in a routine as much, or just really doesn't have a routine at all. No matter which one it is, change comes to you regardless. So no matter what, you still have to deal with it, and you just have to be comfortable, being uncomfortable when it comes to change. You have to, you know, take it as it is, and just, I think, also understanding and realizing, recognizing that it's a part of life. I think once you understand that, though, I think that's a big thing to understand. Once you understand that, you're able to take change in whatever way it comes in your life with a different attitude and perspective, because you know it's going to happen, but also not in a negative sense, not being like sad or depressed and feeling down every time things change or don't go your way and things don't look the way you expected them to, but rather knowing it's just gonna happen and kind of in a sense being prepared for it, mentally, and just knowing that that's not going to stop you from, doing whatever it
Honestly,
is you're trying to
sometimes
do.
change is really what we need,
Yeah.
It may be that kind of change who's going to help you with your breakdown.
Yeah.
Breakdown or your breakthrough.
Both.
Both ways, because sometimes it's like you're like, whoa, if that didn't happen, I don't know where I would have been right now.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times we're just thinking, oh wow. We're like, wait a minute, this is not how I planned it, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So honestly, a lot of us didn't even think, like for some people, they do end up with their plan. It's great.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
during the process, we had some sort of change that happens.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the reason why you're gonna feel like you can't continue on the plan.
Yeah.
You should feel even more confident. You should feel even more hopeful to keep on going, because it really
we've heard about it. What is that? What's that saying? It's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's
you must make a choice to take a chance if you want anything in life to change.
Yeah. You gotta go through it. You learn from it too.
Yeah, because I feel like if we're not like really like allowing ourselves to like face change, I also think about it. Change is kind of like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you're not, think about it, when you're not used to do something a certain way every day, and it's something new that happens during the process, or like let's say, okay, let's just give an example, not just to be too more like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not be more what's it called, vague.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know what we're talking about, but like let's go into giving more examples. Like for example, like if you've been single for a very long time, I know that happened because I'm seeing it a lot going on around. Women feeling very insecure about themselves, about going to dating, because you may have been single for a long time and you're not really feeling that confident to step into dating again. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's a big thing to adjust, because if you're comfortable in your own zone, being single, doing things a certain way, and not having a partner, not knowing how to pretty much adjust, be able to live with somebody, like all of like the both of us right now living together. It's a big challenge for us because every day we're learning about each other.
Yeah.
Even though we'll fight, but we're at the end of the day we're gonna make it up.
Yeah.
So it's like a big change, but it also even empowers us to keep going and to wanna pursue our goal.
Yeah.
For some people, they just stop because they don't think they can do it. This is a big change for them. It's a big challenge. Not everyone could say it's not, because if you're used to living alone in your room, your parents' house, getting out and live with somebody, it's a big change.
It's like stepping out. You gotta step out of your comfort zone.
Even like it's also really important to realize that when something is not what you actually want, it's also even difficult to want to make that change. That's another thing. You also have to be able to be confident and be comfortable with the change or the choice you're making in life. Because you can't say, again, change will happen unpredicted. It may happen. It's okay. Some people just go with the flow. But for somebody who has to make those changes, if they're not confident, if they're not comfortable with it, they feel like, oh, somebody's pressuring me, or I'm being pressured by certain things, then that's when that's the problem. Because that's not the kind of change you're going to make in your life. Because it's not going to be a good outcome for you. It's not going to benefit you at the end of the day. So that's something you also have to think about, you as a person. Nobody knows you but yourself. That's why it's also really important to know yourself, to know your value. Before you want to go ahead
and
with
jump
with anything
into,
in life.
And just jump into So changes is gonna happen anyway. But when there's changes where you have control over, you don't want to just jump into changes just because someone else is doing it, or someone else did it this way, or told you to do this. You still also have to take ownership of your decisions, and which is something we've talked about before. You still have to, at the end of the day, make that choice. So even with the reality of changes, no matter what, in life, there's still changes that we can make, that we can voluntarily make, for ourselves. And the last thing we want to do is make a change that's really not your change, but, coming from somewhere else or someone else, where it's not actually what is right for you or is what you're ready for, basically. So, because when you make those changes that you're confident in, you're more, you're able
to adjust quickly.
Yeah, and also take that responsibility. Since you make that choice, you can, make that. You can take on the responsibility and accountability, because you took that, you took that step in confidence. You took that step knowing, what may or may not happen. So since you took that step knowing those things, or not knowing those things, but you took it anyway, you were ready to face whatever may come. But if you're just doing it just to do it because someone else is telling you, that's a different thing. So it's definitely important to know why you're doing whatever you're trying to do as far as making a change.
That brings me to this scenario of when you suddenly change and you're not doing things the way you used to do with your friends, with people around you, with your surrounding. People notice change, of course. Like, everyone has to change. Everyone has to go through change, and it's okay. But some people might want to judge you or look at you a different way, or may say whatever they want to say because you've changed. Like, duh. Like, how are we supposed to grow if we don't change? We're not gonna stay we're not gonna stay our younger age for the rest of our lives. We're not going to grow. We're not going to be what? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to change. Like, duh, I have to change. Yeah. So what? I changed. I have to. I don't get people who'd be like, oh, she changed. She's this and that. Excuse me. Like, that reminds me. You should also do the same thing.
That reminds me of a quote, that Jay-Z said. That was so tough. He was like, people will look at you and say you changed, like you work so hard just to stay the same. And I was like, that's so true. Like, it's like you could be, you doing all the work you're putting in. You're just bettering yourself each and every day. And then, the results show, and it's like you're doing well for yourself, and it's like, you're not doing. Honestly, you're not with those people that you're with anymore. You've elevated yourself in whatever way. You just elevated yourself in your life, right? And you progress. Feel bad about it. Because people will try to make you feel bad about it. They will try to make you feel bad about it. That would be like hating. They did not. They're just haters. Because they because then there's people who, even though change is, always coming, there's certain parts in your life where, people will not want to change. They won't accept that change. And unfortunately, it leads them to them being in the same place you saw them 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, depending on how old you are, depending, on what stage you are in life. There's people you haven't
who
seen
are
it
at
forever,
the
and it's
same
like,
stage
dang,
in their lives,
yeah,
and their thinking goes towards you instead of focusing on
on
themselves.
themselves and what they and them changing
Like,
and them actually going through
how about
the
you?
changes that
How about you do the
are
same
presented to
thing?
them.
It's like they want you to present yourself like they want you to they want you to keep doing the thing that you used to do with them. It's like, cause like one of my friend who I'm happy for her came from my country, and I'm so excited for her. It's like she gonna want me to hang out with her every single day. Like she wants like she wants like she thinks it's like the way we were in my country. Like we would go to we'll go to each other's house and we'll just hang out and then we'll just chill. Now it's like it's different because I'm on schedule. Literally, like if I don't plan things out again, I'll freak out. Which I do make those changes though, but it's like it's not on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I'm still working on myself with the change thing. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're literally telling you our experiences, but what we also think it's okay to do.
Yeah.
I'm just
As
keeping it real. And I think about just like what's real.
and as far also what works as far as like progressing,
Exactly.
like and what you're doing now as far as your lifestyle, the way you're
Like she
and
wants
the
me
way
to be
you
hanging
operate.
out with her, go to her house, and she'll come to my house. It's okay, we can hang out, come to my house or whatever. But I can't do that every day. It's not like we were in a country when we're young. We're in school. We didn't have anything else to worry about. Now I got bills to pay. I got things to do. I have my main to feed myself. I can get out the house and do whatever I want. I mean, I could, but I have to plan it, which I cannot do that every day because I have a job. And I have things when I'm not working, I just want to sleep. Or watch TikToks. Or make TikToks. Or be on Instagram and post nonsense. And worry about myself. Pretty much. It's like, I don't want to do anything else. But honestly, being around my house. Or basically just focusing on what's important. If I have to go out, I'm saying like I have to plan it.
Yeah.
Cause
that's money spent.
Because that's money spent. That's a lot of things.
Time,
That's time. Again,
gotta make sure
people who thinks like you're gonna move
know
the
what
way
you're
you used to
doing.
move, the way we used to do things, and now need to understand that like we're not the same like we used to do. It's not. Everything has its own stage.
Yeah, everything has its place. Everything has its season.
And
there's a time for and place for everything.
and honestly,
yeah.
you can't be mad at me for choosing not to want to go out.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't be mad at me. You can't blame me. You can't say, oh, money make her change. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It is not. Trust me. We're just at this age of...
We're just growing, man.
We're just growing.
That's
like...
It's natural. We're just growing.
I'm just laughing because you literally thought there was a drink. Anyways. So, yeah, it is not like things needs like people like we all have to go through change to be in order to grow. I think that's the highlight of this
Oh, of course.
episode. Like you have to go through change. That is the only way to change. To grow. That is the only way to be your better self.
Is to go through it.
At the end of the day, it's okay to work on it.
Yeah.
Another thing too, like even if you are a single parent, like even if you are like not single, like even if you were married for some reason and you have to go through co-parenting and being a single mom and being a single dad and all of that, that is also a huge change. That I feel like change honestly works with being able to know yourself.
Yeah.
And what's really convenient for you. As far as
so just like understanding where you are at
and where you're trying to go, honestly.
Where you are, where you're trying to go, and understanding where you are as far as at the stage of life you're at, and the stage of life you're at, where you're trying to go, and then also understanding, what you're doing as well. What you're doing at the stage of life you're at, and how it's what you're doing now is what you're doing now helping you to get to what you're trying to achieve tomorrow, next week, next year, or whatever. You also have to understand what are the changes that may be coming and that you have to make to, continue on, basically, when certain changes come at you. So changes it's changes, once changes happen, changes, also have to happen with you. So when things happen to you in your life where, that it hits you that are out of your control, you also have to change to adapt to that, in a in to basically, to adapt to that situation or that environment, the circumstance. You have to be able to deal with it and basically shed that old skin and whatever, you know
Shut the devil up. Shut the devil up.
change that mindset perspective you may have had before. You have to change to be able to combat that change that you're going through in that certain stage of your life. So changes work all over. It happens all over. No matter what it is, that the change is, we ourselves also have to um, make the decision to change along with it. And it's possible not to decide not to change or refuse to change in certain areas in our lives, and that's the choice that we make. But there's things that come with making that decision of not changing or not basically not trying to grow and get out of where you are. Some people unfortunately stay in that same place they were, and that's really no better than basically you're not progressing at all.
And
And that's
honestly,
also very that's bad. That's bad itself. If you're not progressing and moving forward and you're just in one place, you're not benefiting yourself either. So that's also a negative.
yeah, even on the eating, I also think like the way we eat also affect not being able to go through change, because like we gotta remember that um again, I feel like it's really like an internal thing. So it's like we have to remember to like we have to reinforce these things, like because like change, it's like a different pattern, it's like a new
Yeah.
pattern that we have to keep on reinforcing ourselves, like our brain into it, so that way we're more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So it's also like about knowing what we like being careful about the things that we eat. It's like we just gotta be aware of our health, of
Yes.
health.
That's important.
It's important, like our health, the way we
You
think.
could start somewhere simple,
Like
just like that. Go
meditate can also help.
sleeping habits.
Sleeping habit, like we have to sleep on the at least get 7 hours of sleep. I know not everyone gets 7 hours of sleep, but at least
But at
try.
least something where it's some type of consistency where
Yeah,
you're not all over the place.
yeah.
To be able to get you into a place where those
I
changes
know.
that you have to make, benefit you.
Trust me, I'm a teacher, and we do not get enough sleep, because as soon as we get home, it's like get off at 4, come here to already like what? Come home to already 4. By the time you say, I want to eat,
Yeah.
you relax a little bit. It's already 10, 11,
Yeah.
12. You gotta sleep again.
And
Getting
then
up
back up.
6:30. You gotta wake up. Thank God I'm not too far. But
Every week.
teachers in this country are like, I don't know. I don't know if that's like a career job or that's like a slavery job, I would say. But it's just like it's a lot. It doesn't feel like a career because you're always on it.
Yeah.
At least a career is like you have your own time, like it's more relaxed, it's more chill, it's more cooler. But like I feel like this kind of, I'm not criticizing teachers. I love teachers because I'm part of it. Well, I'm gonna say beat because I'm trying to quit. Just kidding. But like it's a really hands-on jobs, and I know a lot of other jobs out there are like that, where you feel like you don't have enough time for yourself. Therefore, you feel like it's gonna be hard already to have change when you're already feeling overwhelmed. Why adding some other change on my routine? I'm good on routine. That's why good routine is good for me. But at the same time, we have to remember that by going through change, we're also progressing. We're also allowing ourselves to learn new patterns, and that could potentially help us being our better selves. So
Another important thing about change too, you know, for me, something I've experienced, if I'm coming up with like new new ideas that for whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's for um, the podcast episode, a new design, for what I want to put on our apparel or whatever it is. Like change is, it happens constantly, like literally. Like we're just sitting there thinking, and it's like, all right, gonna think of this, gonna put this down on the paper, and we put it down. You just gotta put it down. You put it down on the paper. You type down what it is you're thinking of, this, that, whatever it is. You write it down. You put it down. You see it, and then sometimes you're like, oh, something hits you. You get a new inspiration. You think of something else, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add this to this. Or you're trying to think of a concept, and you're not trying to force it, but it's like you're also accepting change. You're accepting the fact that this is not final. This is not the final piece, or the the final cut. It's like there's still a little more, and I accept that. I embrace that. I want that, because not only is it a just a part of the process, but I'm inviting something even better than what I originally thought, or what I originally had in the first place. So what I had there before is something I was thinking about, and something I already had in my mind, and I was fine with. But it's also something I'm inviting, because it's like, I know there's something more I could get out of this. There's something more out of this process that I'm trying to get out, and I'm accepting that change. I want that change, because there's something new that's gonna come out of it.
remember,
Yeah.
you cannot be good at something until you're willing to suck at it.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So like, even if you're saying, oh, this is like, it's true, like what you're saying.
That's a big one too.
So it's like, again, by realizing these ideas, you're even making it better for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one draft after the next draft. It's like, oh, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Until you get to the one where it's like, yeah, that's it. And of course, everyone sees the end product, of course, and they're like, yo, this is fire. But they don't see everything, all the changes and the cross outs and the scribbles and the this and that you did before that.
And honestly, it's
but that's why you have to love.
Off.
That's why you have to love the process. Though.
Love the process. Love what you do. So then,
and enjoy it.
By loving what you do,
it
because
won't drive
like
you
it's
crazy.
funny, because the fact that you are already all about it makes it even better.
Because you're not gonna drive yourself crazy.
That's what they said. Like
thinking
that's
not gonna work.
Bro, that's what's really important to love what you do, because it's so crazy that you thought of something. Like, by loving what you do, by loving what you sell, this is literally all you are about. Like, that's why like, literally, the things that we sell, the things that we say, we're all about it. Like, we're actually practicing these things. We're doing it. We wear our sweaters. We love it. Yeah. We enjoy it. And that's what makes it even better. That's what makes the business even beautiful and amazing, because we love it so much. It's like it's part of our daily lives. Yeah. And that is another thing that we also got used to during the process, because at first we were like uncomfortable with it. Like, oh, are people gonna really think it's serious? Because we know we're serious about it. Yeah. So it's about being able to be comfortable with your business, with yourself, knowing all the ideas you have it down, like you said, all your ideas that you had down, and be like, oh, I am that comfortable with it. Like, I know what I'm about to bring to the table, and I am comfortable with these changes that I'm about to make in my life.
Yeah,
because of this business. Being comfortable with this, being comfortable with the changes makes your business successful, because you are literally turning your mind, your life, all about it, all around it. You're pushing yourself to be better in your business, and you're still like, we're still going, we're still doing. It's been like what, 2 years now on this. Or is it
Yeah,
been
man.
already 2 years? When
I
this
think
like
it's gonna be 2 years.
it's gonna be
pretty soon if it's not already.
I think it's already 2 years because I think you
Right?
shared
Yeah.
that Kwanza thing. Was it already 2 years?
I think it was 2020. I think.
Let me
if I
look
think
at
about
it because I'm
No, I think
pretty
about
sure.
it. That's when. That's like I think 2020 was when I first decided like yo, this is what yeah, definitely 2020 actually. I think it was spring 2020, and I was like I'm all in. I'm all in.
So we're in
Spring
2021. So it's
2020.
been 2 years then.
Yeah. So it was like spring 2020 when that idea, and I was like, yeah, going all in on this, and there was there's a million changes that comes when you step into,
Step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's what you did. You pretty much put yourself out there. You're like, oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna do this. I'm all about it.
and
Period.
yeah, everything changes. All the changes come with that, and you have to love it and accept that, and understand that's just a part of that's just a part of life, and it's helpful though. It's helpful though to go through it, because you're honestly growing. Once you're able to accept change and deal with change, you're just you will see yourself growing. People will also see you, growing, and because there's gonna be ups and downs too, but it's part of the changes. It's part of the process, but that's just how it is. But I think you really just gotta take it. Just take it on. Just take it on and just be ready to go anyway. Take it on and be ready to go anyway, knowing that the changes are gonna come. And the best way to approach it is, understanding that it's like, all right, there's still another day to go. There's still another, keep going after it each and every day. Just approach it just like that. And, just be open to the fact that there will be change. And I think that was one of the best, examples I had, because I think that really is what gave me the idea for the title of this episode, because I was literally just changing stuff, just thinking of ideas and changing it, and I was like, oh, let me add this, let me add that, and just not being afraid to scratch something out. It's like, nah, that's not. I think this would look better. I think this will look better. I would like this better, this, that. And those are the best things you can do when you at when you the CEO of your business, of your company. You can make those changes. You don't gotta go to somebody else. It's like, no, you just do it, and that's it. and you know you did it well too. And I think that's one of the best things too. One of the perks about all this. As well, but we love it at the end of the day. But I had to bring up that example because that's literally it. I was just crossing stuff out, but it was like, just it's a part of it. Just trying to be better was the result of making those changes. Is the result of making those changes, and is why the changes were made. And that's also how life is. Those changes will benefit you and can and should make you better and help you progress. So yeah, like you said, that was the highlight of the episode, that changes should help you become better, help you progress, help you grow. So it should be a positive, which is why we need to get more comfortable with it. So yeah, so this is, well, as all the episodes I believe we've been talking about, this was a really good conversation that we're wrapping up with. So yeah,
honestly,
episode 11.
It's 11.
Double one.
Double one.
It's Kwanza Global. We love y'all.
The original one.
Yeah.
Adios.
We appreciate y'all, Kwanza Global family. We're gonna catch y'all again next week with episode 12. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Y'all catch our other previous episodes too. Keep up with us on the socials, and much love to y'all. Kwanza Global, we out. Bye. Peace.